सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. So you want to say, rephrase what you understand as the flaw in our dependence on the Anitya Sukham. Yes. What were you saying?
Yeah, so I was saying that anything impermanent in the world holds the capacity to attract us is because it presupposes that we have kept a condition in our mind which lends the credence to anything anitya to hold and captivate us. That's the reason why the 10th child, when saw the bubble, was able to stand apart from it and not getting lost in that anityatam. Not that he didn't get the joy of seeing it, but he didn't chase it. So that being so, what I learned from this is that if my seeing is corrected, my falling for attraction in the world would only stop if my seeing is corrected.
Correct.
Now, for that, you've taught us the ways that I was thinking that remind yourself of the goal, see the impermanence, do the pratipaksha bhavna, invoke your buddhi at that time because it's your mind which actually latches on. It's not that the buddhi has a problem.
Correct.
So, and in fact, the moment you see the beginning of such a thing, that itself should be taken up as a clue that it's not what you want because it's obviously starting, so it's going to end. So it's anitya. I mean, if you were to decipher between it being the real happiness or getting into the nature of that thought of liking it. So that starting itself. So that itself can make you alert at least, but not jump. So these things you do. But then I was just thinking that second layer is that when you get attracted, of course you get attracted because you feel that you're happy about it. So that pleasure kind of comes across as something which is going to stay, and this is going to be happiness forever. So I am saying that if I were to inquire into that state of excitement or attraction, you figure out that you're constantly lending happiness to it for sure, but at the same time, there is also a disturbance which starts there.
That's right.
So that disturbance which starts there should be taken up as a clue again, that this is not happiness which you want. So I was saying, I'm equating that sort of a feeling to be disturbance, which comes along with the sukham, which I call as sukham. So sukham, I was saying, is disturbance. Dukham certainly is disturbance. So where is Anand then? Because if you want that, keeping that base. So then you realize that Anandam is not a third state or anything. So when like in Gita we heard Samatvam Yog Uchyate. So that means it's trying to say that it's the absence of both. Your mind wants neither a high nor a low, but a state of sama, which is probably what is Anandam, as Shastra has told us. But then again the question comes that knowing this, why that you still fall for going out a word again. So I was just thinking, and then the big thing I realized was that the experiential sukh is basically disturbance. It's not happiness. But so far we've only felt happiness only by experiencing something, which has given us a kind of a suggestion that sukham is to be acquired. So, because whichever way, I think I began coming to classes also with that notion, that coming to class became dependency. I would see the restlessness in me if I have to skip a class. But if the knowledge is to be gained, it was gained, then you live it. Why do you have to go again to fill yourself? It was almost like that. And then you kind of realize that this base notion that you have concluded in your own self, that happiness is to be acquired, is the reason why we keep on going out. The day we realize that happiness is not to be acquired, it's what you are, like what we have heard, not really known. So if we can keep that notion in the mind and reaffirm it, Would it be correct?
As long as you chase the happiness, I don't think we can really summarize this well. Bottom line is, of course, why is it that we continue to be seeking the anitya sukham? Even if it is clear in the buddhi, so she's reflecting on it and bringing up some reasons that she has observed, amongst which the main being our associated idea of an acquired happiness, experiential happiness, to be the only form of happiness that we recognize. As long as this notion is there that it is only the experiential happiness which is called happiness, till then our seeking happiness will continue. So seeking happiness is the point at which I wanted to add on and clarify from your last point. The problem is with seeking happiness. That's it. And why are we continuing to be seeking happiness? Is because we really are not reflecting on the anityatva. We are not strong in our conviction that the anitya sukham is no sukham. Compared to, you have to compare it. Compared to the anandam which is one's own swarupam. But till one knows the swarupam, my dependency on the anitya sukham will not go away. But what does a student do in between, who is understanding that anitya sukham is not really the cherished thing, yet you find yourself gravitating towards it, seeking it in some form or the other, in some form of an experiential happiness. So what is the point at which we start depending on that happiness, where you know that it is the anandam from within, but since that is not a recognized joy, your own swarupa anandam is only going to come with Brahma Vidya. Since Brahma Vidya is forming at the moment, you're beginning to get the knowledge. First step of that knowledge is detaching from the anitya sukham. नित्य आनंदम तो तभी आएगा जब अनित्य सुख को छोड़ा जाएगा. What does a student do in between when he finds that your seeking is still there, though the knowledge is there that it is no longer what you seek? So what does a student do in between? This seeking happiness is what one stops. The pursuits that one engages for the sake of happiness is what one stops. See, a very important thing. If you do not have this knowledge of the anitya sukham, I'm retracing it a little backwards to connect the thought. If you do not have the knowledge that sukh ke bhi anityatvam hai, tab tak as a jiva, I am moving only with one happiness to the other happiness. I seek one happiness, I get or I don't get, I get more than what I expect or I get less than what I expect, and then as that experience is beginning to shape its quotient of happiness and sorrow to me, I am already concluding along with, is this the kind of happiness I wanted? If yes, then I latch on to it. If no, then I start seeking it elsewhere. This is how an individual keeps gravitating from one happiness to another happiness. Like from one object to another object, from one experience to another experience. That hope inside that there will be some experience born happiness which will be the final happiness. some experience born happiness, which will be the final happiness. Thereby, I will somehow not be in this kind of a wanting state. The conclusion is, my wanting state of happiness is only because I haven't yet found that experience of happiness that I seek. My wanting state is only continuing till I find that some experience in life I will get probably. I am just trying to figure out which is that experience of life which will make me happy finally. So my notion is dependent on this sense experience based happiness. And as I am gaining those happinesses, I keep getting also the idea, because they are not fulfilling by the fact, I also start getting the idea कि ये तो वो नहीं है, and I, even before that experience may have wound up, I start seeking another experience. I am only restating what we do without knowledge. This is, now once we have this knowledge that this is anitya sukham, any sensory based anandam is very short lived, shanbhangur. It lasts only for a moment. Once I have this knowledge, it is not adequate enough to stop me from still seeking experience based happiness. What do I do in between? We are saying, first thing to do is stop the association of an experience based happiness. Stop seeking an experience based happiness. Experience based happiness means?
I think that experience means that it's going to come to an end.
Exactly.
So putting the two together sounds like counterintuitive, happiness and experience together.
That's right. But it doesn't stop us from seeking, no?
That's right.
So what are we going to do? What do you think should be the in-between transitional step till the Nitya Sukham is established in terms of the knowledge and I am firmly placed in my own antakaranam, that my happiness is unconditional because my understanding through reflection is firm and I have seen it through experiences of life also. So my understanding is firm that whatever waking state born experiences are, they go away with the waking state, supposing one of the reflections. Therefore, my looking for happiness in the waking state, from one waking state to another waking state, how would I actually live my waking day? I know it's going away, so where will my dependence be? While you are simultaneously reflecting on such things, this notion that I am still figuring out or getting gravitated towards on an experience-based happiness, what is this in-between thing that will change it? How will you slowly reduce the dependency of this happiness attachment for happiness outside you, attachment for happiness outside you, outside of you? What is this in between? If I am not engaging myself in actions or interactions, relationships with the notion that they give me happiness, then how am I interacting in the world? How am I interacting with people? Or how am I fulfilling my desires? Or how am I conducting my life? Okay. Some objective, unbiased.
With an understanding that you got to be doing what you're supposed to be doing.
That's the point. Dharma. Absolutely. Dharma is the bottom line. You will have to align your life. And when we say align your life means align your waking day, your waking state. Align it to being propelled on dharma. Align your waking state to being propelled by dharma alone. That means in every moment, every choice has twofold things in it. Without knowledge, we gravitate towards the experience-based happiness with all those presumptions like you stated. Hoping. If I have to bring out myself from it, then I have to not depend on those means because they are there by default. Then what is it that I will propel my day for? Otherwise मेरा पूरा दिन कैसे जाएगा? सिर्फ उसी में तो जाएगा जो चीज़ मुझे happiness देती है, I go for it. जो नहीं देती है, I go away from it. Just as that example of the cow also, when you show the carrot to the cow, it comes to you. When you show a stick to the cow, it goes away from you. Just the same way that when anything that is pleasurable, you perceive as pleasurable, you gravitate towards. कैरेट सामने दिखता है तो तुम अपने आप मंद बुद्धि बंद बुद्धि खिंच जाते हो, और जब डंडा दिखता है तो मंद बुद्धि भाग जाते हो, because the whole response from within that this danda means pain has been wired inside. Now, this, if you have to stop this day's activity like this, then what will you do in the waking state? In that every choice of yours, everything has that alternative choice. Is it falling in my dharma or not to do? धर्म है ये मेरा कि नहीं है? अगर ये धर्म है, या or even if I have a gravitation towards that happiness, can I convert it to my dharma? Do I have the knowledge or the skill developed to see how to convert my own raga dvesha to dharma? That means I don't leave the raga dvesha or my attractions as the force of my life to give me happiness, but I am being conscious. I am being very mindful, as the word says. I am being very mindful that I am only converting the waking day as much as I can in the beginning. There is no absoluteness to following dharma. Dharma cannot be followed to the absolute degree. Means you cannot live the whole day without slipping into some sort of a likes and dislikes ka behavior of yours. But as we said in the previous class somewhere, if 60-70% of you is on that side of the dharma, 60-70% of your day you have lived based on dharma, then will that 30-40 really be bondage? Enough as it would have been otherwise when there was no activity based on dharma. Even dharma we act on likes and dislikes. जो हमें पसंद धर्म है ना वो हम करते हैं, धर्म में भी हम अपनी पसंद चलाते हैं. जो हमें पसंद है वो हम करते हैं, और जो हमें पसंद नहीं है वो हम नहीं करते. धर्म में भी means if it is my duty to do also, if I like to do it, I do it. I know it is my duty, but only if I like it, I do it. If I don't like it, I don't do it. Even if it is my duty. Whereas the meaning of duty was, irrespective whether you like or not, you have to do it. Now, how much of our day, waking day, is really spent on aligning it with the sense of our dharma, our sense of dharma, and our sense of dharma keeps building. As you practice it, so will it keep refining itself. There will also be areas of conflict. जब दो धर्म conflict करते हैं, like we said in the Bhagavad Gita also, Arjuna's conflict arose from attachment, moha, but clouded under the name of dharma. Is it my dharma to fight my own teacher and my own grandfather who I love so dearly, or is it my dharma to protect the people? This conflict appeared because of his attachment. Otherwise, is there a conflict for him? He was not conflicted. So there was no conflict in dharma as such. It was a clear, dharma makes you prioritize in life. Dharma gives you the sense of direction. And finally, the very dharma that you pursue is the one that protects you. So it gives you the sense of purpose. It gives you the sense of direction. And ultimately, at the last point also, even if you think you have done some sort of a self-sacrificing of your likes and dislike based happiness, there is nothing lost because dharma actually fulfills you. It is the one which is protecting you. It will never ever make you unhappy. ये देखने की चीज है. Dharma, before that sukham of Brahma Anandam is known, recognized, वो तो है ही है, मगर पहचान में नहीं आ रहा ना. पहचान में क्यों नहीं आ रहा? Because it is like the cloudy day today. सब ढका हुआ है, under the clouds and the moisture. कुछ पहचान में नहीं है सब कुछ साफ. But what seems to be clouding it, that's why it's called clouding it. What seems to be clouding it is the cloud. In the same way, Brahma Anandam is already there. But why is it not recognized? Because of the clouding, internal clouding. This internal clouding is in what form? All that Ragadvesh, Mala, experienced ignorance is the basic thing. सोचते नहीं हम. There is no thought. There is no thinking. Aviveka. There is no thinking involved in our behaviors, in our attitudes, in our life conduct, in our interactions. We don't think. What is the only thing that propels us is what attracts us and what repels us. That's all that is not even thought of. This also Shastra makes us see. वरना हमें तो पता ही नहीं. We think it is the only way to live. It is over the slow, fine tuning of our own buddhi that we begin to see the fact that is pointed to us. That whatever is based on pull from the world, एक खिंचाव अगर लगे ना दुनिया से, एक ही खिंचाव है दुनिया का जहां you should be sanctioning it. What is that खिंचाव? आंखों से, if there is a दैवी interaction. दैवी interaction means if you see any form of a idol, दैवी, anything higher. With eyes, if your eyes are seeing something, normally we are not going to get very attracted, averagely. But this is something you can allow. When you go to a shrine, you go to a temple, you go to any place of altar, and if you just want to let your eyes absorb it, it's fine. It's sanctioned. But if you're watching the television serial, and that also, I'm not commenting which one, and your eyes go like that, automatically ना आप खुद तो नहीं कर रहे. Those figures there are automatically keeping your eyes like that. Did you have to keep your eyes on it? This is something that you instantly need to pause. That perception you need to pause. Which perception? जो खिंच रही है, अपने आप से खिंचती जा रही है. That interaction you need to pause. Sense interaction. If your eyes are seeing some nice, say somebody is helping someone on the street. You find someone just helping another one on the street. Your eyes have seen it. Normally you would see it and go away, straight, somewhere else. But if you have seen it, you can allow yourself to continue to see it. Because eyes are not pulling it, eyes just registered it. But eyes are not getting pulled into the fact that there is a good action you are witnessing. Someone is helping someone, supposing, some poor child is being helped on the street by a lay person, or someone is helped cross the road. What can you do with that? Aankhon ne dekha. What can you do? Even normally, what will we do? Our minds are so preoccupied because we have got tuned to only being registering what attracts us. These things won't attract us till you train yourself. On one hand, supposing you have been to a place where it is, say, India Gate today, nice, clean, beautiful, you are also seeing someone help the road, cross the road, kisi aur ko, who needs the help. Where will your eyes automatically move to? If you like the place, green, flowers, everything fresh, quiet, खाली, अपने आप आंख कहाँ जाने को पसंद करेगी? जहां आपके राग द्वेष है. But if you have conscious, you can put in the effort to stop that seeing and see that right action. But for which, what do you need to be? Conscious. You need to be highly alert. You need to see that there are two perceptions happening and you are choosing one. And you have a choice. And you are choosing. Based on what will you choose? Based on that this pull of the eye is going to give me the sukh of how long? उसी वक्त का है ना वो सुख. थोड़ी देर का सुख है वो. थोड़ी देर भी, देर is also longer word before that sukh goes away. देर बोलने में भी बहुत time है. That sukh will go away beforehand. But if I have tuned myself, taking myself away from that perception will be a pain for how long? For a little while. Because perceived happiness you are moving away from. जो आंखों को आदत पड़ गई है एक आनंद वाली, जिसको एसोसिएट करता है, आप जब फर्स्ट टाइम उससे हटाओगे, यू विल ओनली डू इट बेस्ड ऑन श्रद्धा. सुना है, कोशिश कर रही, पता नहीं है कि यहां तो ऐसा लगेगा कि ये सुख गया मेरा. बट इफ यू कंटिन्यू डूइंग दिस इन अ परसेप्शन, दिस इज वन केस स्टडी सपोज. Now you have allowed your eyes to linger on it. Linger there. Linger in that perception. देखो अच्छे से, उसके भाव देखो, देने वाले मतलब हेल्पर के भाव देखो, लेने वाले के भाव देखो. Understand what goes on in the mind of the one who receives it. Understand what is propelling the one to help out. When you allow your mind to linger on that perception, this lingering of the perception, sukh किस में आएगा? What will that perception do to you? उस वक्त तो कोई सुख नहीं है. You are doing what? You are nothing. You were taken away from your immediate source of सुख को तुमने छोड़ दिया. अब वो तो transaction दो लोगों के बीच का है. Are you going to get that happiness from there? No. Sorry?
Wanted to inspire you.
But you might just
But
do it.
what will happen with that lingering is that it will create that impression which will work as an inspiration probably, and that action that you will propel from you, because your mind now has that impression, you will get the happiness from that. And which is more happiness? But natural, this is lasting compared to that. But natural, this has more happiness compared to the sensory perception. That sensory perception was a momentary perception. Yes, there was some excitement, some happiness. ठीक है, शास्त्र मना नहीं करता. अगर इंद्रिय सुख ना होता, तो exactly where was the problem that we've done before? Then there was really no problem, because if इंद्रिय सुख नहीं था, तो there is no issue, because वो सुख नहीं होता तो दुख होता, और अगर दुख होता तो we were anyway not wanted it. So we would have been very clear. The road would have been very clean.
But I think we have to see the other aspect also. Sometimes I feel like dharma is very, in dharma we think that the act is being done in a good manner, but we do not know the intention. Like Ravan, he went to Sita and he took the shape of Brahman, and Sita did धर्मा के उस लेके उसने धर्मा के आड़ में he just सीता को उठा के so we never know कि what act we is of dharma and what act is of adharma, and so it is sometimes very
No, incorrect. Sita broke her dharma. If she Lakshman Rekha was her dharma, she crossed it.
but she got confused कि मेरा धर्म उसको
अगर वो धर्म पे
मेरा भी है.
वही हम कह रहे थे ना थोड़ी देर पहले हमने यही कहा धर्म की समझ भी हमारी बढ़ती रहती है. It is not absolute. We are bound to err also in the pursuit of dharma. But which protects us finally? What protected her also eventually was, अगर उसने एक स्लिप कर भी दिया, एक रेखा अगर तोड़ भी दी, उसने दूसरी रेखा नहीं तोड़ी, which protected her. Now, actually speaking, that little confusion that arose in her mind was breaking the dharma. Thinking that sadhu hai, okay, this is now going to go controversial, can go controversial. If she had that, if the abiding is, dharma क्या था उसका, उसके ऊपर क्या पाप लगता अगर वो लक्ष्मण रेखा ना क्रॉस करती तो? लगता? नहीं लगता. क्यों? क्योंकि वो साधु था ही नहीं. वो तो साधु के वेश में था. रावण साधु के वेश में था. अब उसे नहीं पता. That's what the point is. उसे नहीं पता, इसलिए वो प्रिज्यूम करती है कि ये साधु है. मगर धर्म तुम्हारी रेखा बनाता है, सही समझ की रेखा बनाता है. अगर उसका धर्म था उस वक्त के लिए, she was to abide within that रेखा and come what may. If she had been warned, do not step out, then do not step out. I will take the consequences, even if it means at that time I think I'm incurring pap. I am ready to take that consequences, because between the confusion of the two dharmas, the known dharma is what I will abide in. जब दो धर्मों का कंफ्यूजन हो जाए अगर कभी, तो जो नोन धर्मा है हमें उसमें रहना चाहिए विद अ रेडीनेस कि अगर इसका कुछ कॉन्ट्ररी रिजल्ट हुआ तो भी आई शुड बी एबल टू फेस इट, face the consequences of it. But because you're abiding in the known dharma, nothing wrong can happen ever. होगा ही नहीं.
But is known an individual perception?
Yes.
So it's all about your own understanding. What she did was her understanding, which may have been wrong.
That's what. See, dharam is actually an absolute dharam. There is one niyam which is absolute, जो साफ है. I don't want to go a lot into details about that incident. It's because of there'll be a confusion arising unnecessarily. It needs a more personal discussion than something on, just floating in the air as this. We'll probably take it up later in the class. But for the sake of completion of the thought, धर्म से आप अपना देखें, forget सीता, okay? अपना धर्म देखें जीवन में. सीता का क्या धर्म था सीता जाने. आप अपने धर्म देखें लाइफ में. बात हमारी एक्चुअली स्टार्ट यहां से हुई थी. टू अस वी आर टॉकिंग. द वंस हु गेट पुल्ड इन द वर्ल्ड still based on wanting this impermanent happiness. बात हमारी हो रही है. सीता का एग्जाम्पल इनकरेक्ट है क्योंकि वो ग्राउंड ही नहीं है उसका वो देने के लिए. धर्म वर्ड से धर्म पे कोइंसिडेंट आया, जो बात सही है. which we should take up as a separate topic, क्योंकि वो इशू धर्म का निकला. From our state of life, when we get pulled only for the temporary pleasures of life, और हमें नहीं समझ में आता कि वो अनित्य सुख is actually दुख, हमें इस पुल से क्या निकालेगा? Our sense of बुद्धि, our sense of धर्म. मगर अगर हमारी धर्म इतनी एडवांस्ड हो चुकी है कि हम अब अपने जीवन को सिर्फ धर्म के बेसिस पे चलते हैं, तब भी हम में कंफ्यूजन आ सकता है, विच इज सीता, सिचुएशन ऑफ सीता एंड सिचुएशन ऑफ अर्जुना. बट दे आर द वंस हु वॉक ऑन धर्म ऑलरेडी. क्लियर? क्लियर? जो धर्म पे चल रहे हैं, आगे जाके दो धर्मों के बीच में कंफ्यूजन हो सकता है, मगर हम तो धर्म पे ही नहीं चलते, तो हमें कहां से ये कंफ्यूजन आ जाएगा कि ये रिलेटिव है कि एब्सोल्यूट है. When it comes to our own life, we all have our dharmas very clear to us. You have your roles of life. Why is Sita's conflict taken up? Forget Sita as a goddess, relative. Ram's wife. You are a husband and wife to someone. Forget Sita. वो जिस धर्म युद्ध में थी, उनकी बात अलग है. आप अपने जीवन को देखो. You are a husband and wife to someone. You are a mother and a child to someone, or you are you have your roles of life. Is the clarity of those roles and its operation not there? कि तुम्हारा धर्म क्या कहता है तुमको? क्यों साफ नहीं होता? इसलिए क्योंकि हमारी आदत बन गई है टू ग्रेविटेट विद द इंस्टेंट जॉयस. इसलिए हमें धर्म के पालन है ही नहीं. वी डोंट नो. टुडे वी डोंट अंडरस्टैंड दिस लैंग्वेज. धर्म पे पालन वी डू नॉट अंडरस्टैंड बिकॉज ऑफ दिस क्वेश्चन. धर्म तो सब रिलेटिव है, अपने अपने परसेप्शन है, अपने अपने हिसाब से धर्म है. तो इसलिए most of us lose the will to operate on dharma. This has moved, what we were saying, the discussion has moved away a bit. You've taken it a little out of context now. If I come back to what I was saying was very essential for us, where we stand. The point here is, her question is, how are we, while we understand Brahma Anandam is us, still we go out and pursue the Anitya Sukham. जानते हैं लेकिन पहचानते नहीं हैं. और ये पहचानने की प्रवृत्ति में अगर हम लगे भी हैं, even if we are trying to understand that I am the source of all joy, these are words for me. I still gravitate towards that experiential based happiness. Understand these words well. There is no more clarity that can happen if you do not understand these words. My happiness which is born as an experience, which means my happiness is born with the experience. उस एक्सपीरियंस में मेरे को एक आनंद है. जब तक वो एक्सपीरियंस है, आनंद मुझे लगता है मतलब है. That's what the scripture said. Yes, your sense experience is there. Your sense happiness is there. इंद्रिय सुख है, मगर इंद्रिय सुख से एक ऊपर सुख है. You have to latch on to the higher sukh. What is a higher sukh than indriya sukh? मन का एक सुख है. Now, if you see this, I'm coming back to the example. If you see someone doing a good action, you have still not done it. Your eyes are still wanting to look at the beautiful scenery. But you see this. Now, if you train yourself long enough to linger, I'm talking about the lingering of the happiness now. पहली बात थी sense-based happiness. दूसरी बात है लिंगरिंग ऑन इट. हम लोग लिंगर करते हैं on the pleasure that we experience from the sense. We let the mind linger even after the sense pleasure is gone. We let the mind linger. We are saying linger on the sense perception, which is a sanctioned sense perception, where there is some element of Daivam seen in it. If you linger on that, you are not getting any immediate sukh. Immediate तो नहीं है. If there is a conflict of the immediate sukh and this, अगर already there's a lot of honking and there's शोर मच रहा है सब कुछ कर रहा है तो वो तो it's a dislike for me. Between that and seeing this is more better. But there is a conflict of the sukh and something which is right but not giving you the sukh straight away. Lingering on it will allow the impression to happen. That impression will get strengthened as you keep encouraging that. And a time comes when that impression propels you to also act. And when you act like that, it gives you a sense of higher fulfillment than that sense perception would give. But it is a delayed fulfillment. It's a lot more delayed, sorry?
It changes your nature.
Delayed gratification. It changes your nature. It changes your nature and it's a delayed gratification.
It's the right sung, right? To see.
Sorry, it is the
Sung that you talk about?
It's the right sung. Absolutely. It is the sung. Correct. Now you take another perception. आँखों का, कान से. Normally, where should the perception be allowed to linger? एंड वहाँ हमें नींद आ जाती है. भजन चलते हैं तो हमें नींद आ जाती है. रामायण चलती है तो हम कहते भी है रामायण कर रहे हो. And there's an argument happening. What do we say? क्या रामायण लेके बैठ गए? Look at the association. ये क्या रामायण लेके बैठ गए? Means you are lingering on कथा सुना रहे हो. As if it is not something that you should be allowing yourself to. It is not necessarily just God that you can keep in a perception. Though that alone is what will help. That is why I brought it down to some value. कानों से सुनो वो जो conversations अच्छी हैं. They are meaningful. They are helpful. They are useful. They inspire. Let your ears listen to that which is valid. That automatically will become dharma. Avoiding the ears from that which is just sheer momentary happiness. Like
Anuvada, Shri Anuvada, or just
No,
what
somebody
the singer.
praising you.
somebody praising you. Anuvada is what the Shastra does.
Oh, I thought Anuvada means sensory-based experiences. That's called Anuvada.
But that the Shastra restates it is sensory based. That is correct. Anuvada is repeating what is a sensory based experience, but with the point of view of education. It is Anuvada, that is correct. But you do not start, I don't know, how
Okay,
did
no,
you use this word? I
went
couldn't
wrong.
understand.
I thought like when you talk with your friends and everything, you're reinstating your sensory-based experiences.
That's correct.
So that's Anuvada because then you're going in that direction as opposed to
Correct.
going here.
That's right.
Can we
That's right.
take immediate sensory-based pleasure out of those these things? It gives you joy, immediate. How do you look at it? How do you? Sorry.
No. See, we are talking of two different अधिकारीज. हमने कहा बार बार एक ही बात कहे जा रहे हैं. हमने नहीं कहा कि कोई इंस्टेंट प्लेजर नहीं है जीवन में, मगर उस इंस्टेंट प्लेजर में वो सुख से क्या आप खुश हैं? इंस्टेंट प्लेजर की एक फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ सुख की जो डिपेंडेंसी होती है, यही वो लोग हैं जो डिप्रेशन में भी बहुत जाते हैं, क्योंकि ये सुख का एक मोमेंटम मेंटेन ही नहीं हो सकता किसी से. सेंसरी बेस्ड प्लेजर्स आर नॉट एडिक्वेट टू कीप यू फुलफिल्ड. So you slip into a state of unhappiness yourself as a person, anybody, जीवा. अगर वो इसको एक आदत बनाता है, ये fulfill हो ही नहीं सकती by law, because every sense perception cannot gratify you. आप रह नहीं सकते ना, बहुत सारे जीवन में चीजें ऐसे होती है जो हमारे हिसाब से नहीं होती, तो वो तो मुझे दुखी देंगी ना फिर। तो आई कैनॉट कीप मूविंग टूवर्ड्स दैट जो मुझे सुख देती है, विच इज वेयर द ओल्ड स्ट्रेस ऑफ लाइफ स्टार्ट्स, बिकॉज when I start moving myself towards more and more of pleasure seeking aspects of life, just because they give me a moment of pleasure, now I am moving into something which is against the grain of life. Life means it will give me both. Now if I am not making myself centralized, anchored to experience both with a sambhav, जब जिंदगी सुख ला रही है तो सुख ले लो, जब जिंदगी सुख नहीं दे रही है तो भी मुझे तो नहीं सीकिंग करनी है उसकी. So we are actually talking of two different things. The ones who want to live with a constant state of happiness, choice is yours. Shastra only says that you will slip into, as quickly as you get into happiness, so quickly you will also slip into deep state of sorrows. दोनों होगा, मतलब इट्स जस्ट अ वार्निंग. शास्त्र नहीं, चॉइस तो आप ही की है, आप क्या चूज करते हैं जीवन में. शास्त्र का काम तो सिर्फ आंख खोलना है, हमें कौन से पाथ पे चलना है ये तो हमें चूज करना है. शास्त्र तो सिर्फ बता देती है ये मार्ग इधर जाता है, ये मार्ग इधर जाता है, ये रास्ता इधर जाता है. प्रश्न पे अब हमें ट्रेनिंग करनी चाहिए धीरे धीरे अपनी. लेट अस स्टिक टू द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ व्हाट इज बीइंग सेड. If your hearing slips away from one word to another word, then you lose the very essence of this. This was a very beautiful way it has built itself up. And if you can follow it, you have something very enriching coming out of it. What your doubts are pertaining to it, if it is completed the thought and then you bring it up, then you will benefit from another talk complete. But in between you're breaking the thought, and that is kind of breaking it off. You're not learning. This will not clarify fully for you nor for the other person. Finish one thought in context. Stick in your mind the focus long enough that the context has got answered. And that is why sometimes the whole class also goes away only on one contextual question, because it is so subtle. Or our hearing has not got trained. Shravanam itself is not trained. You know how we go when we play those games? Now I have gone. No, thanks. No, I am gone. When you play the game of एक word दे दो किसी को, the dumb shiraz, Chinese whisper kind of a thing. But not exactly Chinese whisper. But you give a word. Say I tell you a word, say flower. What all comes? Now you say along with the flower, you say a word. Quickly. Beauty.
Fragrance.
From beauty you have to say something. From beauty you have to say something. Attractive. Quick. From attractive you have to say something. Krishna. Bhakti. See where did it start from? From bhakti, say something. Bhajan.
Layered.
Huh?
Layered.
Jaldi. You can't think so long. सोते रहते. From layered.
In what context would the layered be that? Okay,
Yeah.
Ishwar's creation.
Ishwar's creation. Beautiful. See? What was the first word? Flower. This is called mind की जो छलांग मारने की आदत है ना, एक वर्ड से छलांग मार देता है वो. इट गोज ऑन टू, एक सुनी हुई बात पे सडनली, सोची हुई बात नहीं है वो, गहराई में खुद सोची नहीं है, बस सुनी है. सो फट करके वी स्टार्ट ऑफ फ्रॉम दैट थॉट. Whereas Vedant Shravanam itself is a huge growth for a person, because we allow our own impulses to remain at bay first. Focus for that long, and even none of us focus enough. The topic itself will change to another topic. But focus till the topic has got completed, because it is going to reveal something very beautiful. What is it going to reveal? It is going to reveal a sense of direction. अंदर का जब ज्ञान जागता है ना, तब एक रास्ता दिखता है. ज्ञान मार्ग ही उसे कहते हैं. व्हाट इज कॉल्ड अ ज्ञान मार्ग? ज्ञान से मार्ग को ढूंढना, ज्ञान माध्यम है। ज्ञान वो माध्यम है, साधना है, जिससे आप अपने गोल को पहुंच रहे हो। गोल क्या है सबका? सब जीवों का गोल क्या है? एवरीबडी, फॉरगेट अबाउट ज्ञान, फॉरगेट अबाउट भक्ति, फॉरगेट अबाउट कृष्णा, फॉरगेट अबाउट द स्पोर्ट्समैन, फॉरगेट अबाउट द बिजनेसमैन, फॉरगेट any jiva, any individual of the world, here, Timbuktu, wherever in the world, हर ह्यूमन बीइंग का गोल क्या है? हर लिविंग बीइंग का गोल क्या है? साफ है ना ये तो हम सबको? हैप्पीनेस है ना। जीव का एक तरीका हैप्पीनेस का क्या है? इंस्टेंट, पल पल में ढूंढते रहो। कभी मिल भी जाता है, कभी नहीं भी मिलता है, बट वी आर इन इट, वी आर एक्साइटेड। ज्ञान मार्ग का हैप्पीनेस क्या है? वो जो जीव का हैप्पीनेस है, शास्त्र ने नहीं कहा कि वो है नहीं, बट ज्ञान तुम्हें क्या मार्ग दिखा रहा है आनंद का? That there is a happiness which is actually you yourself. And how will you shift your base from looking at happiness outside to start owning up the happiness that you are? कैसे बदलोगे अपनी प्रवृत्ति को आप? और बदलना क्यों है? क्योंकि इफ यू गेट श्योर, सोच आपकी है, योर चॉइस, शास्त्र नहीं कहता करो इसको, चॉइस है। आपको इंस्टेंट टू इंस्टेंट हैप्पीनेस में रहना है तो रहो। अगर कभी आप थक गए इंस्टेंट टू इंस्टेंट हैप्पीनेस की चेज में, दैट्स व्हाई वी आर ऑन वैराग्यम, परीक्ष्य लोकान कर्मचिता, परीक्ष्य which will come in the Upanishad that we are doing now. परीक्षा कर करके लोकों की, means लोगों की नहीं, लोक की, means many sensory experiences I have gone through. The happiness from all sensory happinesses I have experienced in lot of shades. बहुत किस्म के फ्लेवर्स ऑफ आइसक्रीम खा लिए हैं, बहुत किस्म के ऊपर नीचे जा चुके हैं, बहुत जगहों पे रह चुके हैं, बहुत अच्छे लोगों के बीच भी रहे हैं, बहुत अफ्लुएंट, सब परीक्षा हो गई है। मीन्स आई हैव एग्जामिन्ड ऑल द सेंसरी एक्सपीरियंस बेस्ड हैप्पीनेस, many such experience based happiness, and I come to the conclusion that they do not fulfill me. They don't last, they don't fulfill me. That's not what I want. Means I have gone through many sensory based happinesses, which means what? In every sensory based happiness have I been inquiring, क्या ये वही था? Or every time that sensory based experience based happiness ends, quickly I started off another experience based happiness, or did I actually at some point get fatigued of it, tired? बस भाई, क्यों नहीं मिलता है? जब मिलता भी है तो खत्म हो जाता है। क्या ये हमेशा चलता ही रहेगा ऐसे? क्या ये साइकिल कभी खत्म नहीं होती कि from one happiness to another happiness to another happiness to another happiness? For how much traveling must I do? Is it endless? Then starts the point of wanting to shift the happiness somewhere जहां ये हिलती नहीं है। कहां है वो आनंद जो हिलता नहीं है? कहां है वो आनंद जो बढ़ता नहीं है, घटता नहीं है, बढ़ता भी नहीं है, घटता भी नहीं है? I tell you, we are talking already a different language. जहां हम शुरू किए हैं क्लास, फ्रॉम देयर टू दिस वर्ड इटसेल्फ हम अलग जगह पहुंच गए, और ये वेदांत का विषय होता है। अधिकारी वो है जो खुद कह चुका है, बस भाई नहीं चाहिए मुझे और ये पल पल के आनंद, मुझे पता है बहुत है, बहुत, हर आइसक्रीम का एक नए फ्लेवर में एक नया आनंद होगा। सो कुछ अच्छे लगेंगे मुझे, कुछ अच्छे नहीं लगेंगे। सो हर कान की फ्लैटर्ड की हुई बात मुझे पसंद आएगी, कब नहीं पसंद आएगी? कितनी भी मेरी तारीफ कर लो, कभी लगेगा कि बहुत हो गई? हमेशा लगेगा कि थोड़ी कम हुई, थोड़ी सी आई डिजर्व्ड अ लिटिल मोर। हर किसी कब लगेगा कि बस भाई कितने भी आप अच्छी फ्रेग्रेंसेस रख लो, कम हुई जरूरत? नेवर. The point that we are trying to get to is, how do you shift the base from this constantly seeking all the time, pal pal mein chhalang mana? You know, when I'm saying this, the image that comes to my mind is, if you're crossing a stream sometimes, you know, I spoke to you about a stream long ago. When you go beyond Manali में वो कौन सा पास है? रोहतांग पास. बहुत आगे निकल रहे, go beyond रोहतांग पास. Just keep traveling deep down in the valley. A valley where there is hardly any habitation, but there is a road going, and that also there are two roads going. One goes to the village and one goes somewhere deep down. You reach a point, even when I say this, my eyes are filled with that perception, because you reach the place where the mountain looks right here, green. Now there's a stream through which you walk, and there are a lot of stones in between, because the stream is literally running down. You know, and बहुत सारे पत्थरों के बीच. It's actually like a land. It's just a, you know, nobody there. If you've gone with a group, your group is the only group there. The sound of the water, the perception of that fresh, quiet, silent, that even if you breathe, you will hear yourself, because it echoes back. And वहाँ पे जो पत्थर, when you have to walk, you have to actually cross the पत्थर from one to another, from one to another, from one to another. Otherwise, you walk in the water. One to another, then you're looking for more. अब किस पे पैर रखूं? Then from this to that, then you're looking again. अब किस पे पैर रखूं? What is the idea? Idea is to go other side. But you cannot go the other side till you keep looking for which pathar to step on. Enjoyable है ना? Step one pathar, another pathar, another pathar, another pathar. This constantly stepping one pleasure to another pleasure, looking for अब कौन से pleasure पे पैर रखूं, अब कौन से pleasure पे पैर रखूं, अब कौन से pleasure पे पैर रखूं. Am I making this? नहीं. कभी कभी आपका expression कभी कभी लगता है समझ नहीं.
It's really truth. It's a truth.
It's the truth, no?
One expression ऐसा है because it's tired.
परीक्षा लो कान का चुका.
This is what we are doing, and you're so exhausted and tired of
Exactly.
this all the time.
And that person will now say, is there a way of finding that steady happiness? जो ना बढ़ती है ना घटती है is the point I said. मुझे बढ़ी हुई भी नहीं, और दे दो और दे दो. एक्सपीरियंस बेस्ड हैप्पीनेस में मुझे समझ आ गया है कि जितनी ऊंची जाएगी मेरी एक्सपीरियंस बेस्ड हैप्पीनेस, उतनी ही नीचे भी गिरेगी. जितनी में एक्साइटमेंट में दिखाएंगे हम अपने एक्सपीरियंस बेस्ड हैप्पीनेस में, उतने ही हम अनएक्साइटेड हो जाएंगे. Isn't it true? Because if some experience has caused excitement, the end of that experience will call at least unexcited state. I'm not excited anymore. And if excitement only I consider as happiness, then non-excitement will become miserable. Whereas actually neither was excitement. Contrasting to that, the non-excitement, your conclusion that I am miserable is only the non-excited state, which is just a normal state. Mind का state क्या excited, hyper रख सकते हो आप उसको. That's why we call it ना. बच्चा जब बहुत hyper होता है, वो सोचता है कि मैं बहुत active हूँ, मैं बहुत, और एक बच्चा होता है बड़ा शांत होता है. You know, there's one which is silent, quiet by itself, and the other one is like hyper, running, seeking experience here, there, you know, shouting, screaming, becoming also the sense of center point of attraction for everybody. The silent one is just silent, quiet, sitting in a corner, maybe reading a book or not even reading, just seeing this child jumping for attraction. Is this child who's jumping for attraction center of attraction, to be the center of attraction? Or is that child who's also sitting on by the side not really happy? है ना, दोनों का अपना अपना आनंद है. वो जो चुपचाप बैठा है कोने में, वो भी खुश है, उसको नहीं बनना है सेंटर ऑफ अट्रैक्शन, वो आनंद में है ना. जस्ट बिकॉज वी train or we presume that sense छलांग मारने वाली happiness alone is happiness is because we have not understood कि there is another happiness. अपनी अपनी प्रवृत्ति है, which is fine, you know. But this is the subject of Nityanandam. Bhartrahari is telling us, let's not forget the context. Bhartrahari is telling us and he is presuming that we are interested in it. What are we interested in? Nityanandam. नित्यानंदम तो हमें तब समझ में आएगा ना जब हमें अनित्यानंदम दिखेगा. नहीं तो नित्यानंदम कहां से दिखेगा जब हमें अनित्यानंदम में ही नित्यानंदम दिख रहा है. That's what our point in the previous verse was. अनित्य सुख को ही हम नित्य मान के चलते रहते हैं and we are happy with it. If you are happy with it, then there is no seeking of the higher for you. If in this anitya sukham you are thinking this is nityam and there is no problem with it. I told you there was a discussion we had with a young boy a few years ago. You know, his only question all to us, counter question all the time would be only one. What is the problem with sense pleasures? So what if I keep having one after another? You show me what is the flaw there. Every young person asks this, no? Did you get the question correct? What is the flaw? I mean, why are you telling us there is something called Brahmanandam? मुझे नहीं चाहिए. I'm happy with this moment to moment happiness जो मुझे मिल जाती है. If you tell me it brings me sorrow and unhappiness, he's a young boy. So he's only in the hope that he will only get happiness from one to he has the know-how, skills, and he has the he's a happy-go-lucky person. He's a happy-go-lucky. He'll find his happiness from anywhere and everywhere. No amount of our dialogue with him, we were not trying to convince him. No amount of our dialogue. He only asked a question, we were answering. No amount of our dialogue was actually destabilizing the thought. What is the problem? He didn't feel anything was answering because this answer cannot come from outside. You are just not matured yet. You have not realized कि थका देता है ये इंद्रियों का सुख. थका देता है इंद्रियों का सुख. And it is not that थकावट जो स्ट्रेस होके होती है. जो स्ट्रेस में होती है थकावट वो इंद्रिय सुख चाहिए. But I am stressed out. I do not know how to get them. So I get stressed out, I get burnt out, I get tired, I get fatigued. Is this the fatigue we are referring to? This is not Vairagyam. The one who has Vairagyam is not fatigued in his action. He is not fatigued in his ability to get the joy from the sense perception. उसको मालूम है वो तुमसे ज्यादा आनंद ले लेता है. ये तो हम आपको बहुत बार चैलेंज करके गारंटी से कह चुके हैं. If it comes between a person who has Vairagyam and you, a yogi and a bhogi, a yogi has far better methods of getting his enjoyments. He has a far greater excitement and enjoyment from sense pleasures. You as a bhogi would have got exhausted of them and not got your happiness, tired, because you have not disciplined them. Your senses have just got tired, acclimatized. But वो अगर लग जाए sensory pleasure की competition में आपके साथ, you will nowhere close be a match because he knows what short happiness there is. वो उसको पूरी लेके आता है. Do you understand? जो थोड़ी सी आनंद है ना वो उसको पूरा लेके आता है क्योंकि उसको पता है ये तो थोड़ा ही है. पूरा ही लेंगे ना फिर हम थोड़े में भी हम ना वो बह जाता है ना वो उसको ज्यादा इच्छा करता है. इसलिए वो उसको पूरा आनंद ले उसका जितना उसके अंदर आनंद है वो उसको पूरा एक्सपीरियंस करता है. बिकॉज ना उसके अंदर डेल्यूजन है कि इससे ज्यादा हो सकती है ये, ना उसमें डेल्यूजन है कि ये लास्ट कर सकती है, ना उसको फियर है कि ये खो सकती है. सो हाउ डज ही कॉन्टैक्ट द सेंसेस फुल? ही हैज नो स्टॉपिंग. ही इज नो रेस्ट्रेन.
तभी तो आपकी जैसे कोई हंस नहीं सकता.
Point proved. And हर बार he just enjoys it for not that for the moment it lasts. जितनी देर भी वो enjoyment last करती है. So when you have supposing supposing you have a wonderful meal in front, और इस मौसम में मिल जाए अगर गरम गरम कोड़े with that अदरक वाली चाय. I know. But we are talking about those who already have a sensory pleasure in it. Not those who do not have pleasure in it. जिनको associated pleasure है इन चीज़ों के अंदर, अगर उनको ये मिल गई, कौन इसको ज़्यादा enjoy करेगा? जो ये बात को समझता है कि इतना क्षणभंगुर है enjoyment, और इतना flimsy है, और इतना stupid भी है. But ठीक है, no harm. वो ज़्यादा enjoy करेगा, या वो बैठा बैठा सोचूं कि मैं होनी चाहिए नहीं होनी चाहिए है, नहीं, आई थिंक आई शुड कंट्रोल, नहीं, नॉट राइट, लेकिन फिर भी लेट अस जस्ट हैव इट. हु विल एंजॉय मोर? दिस इज द गैप. दिस इज द गैप ऑल्सो. करेक्ट. अरे जो सेंस परसेप्शन में आनंद है उसको ले लो, प्रोवाइडेड इट इज विद इन धर्मा, क्योंकि वो धर्म से नहीं हिलता. हम क्या कर रहे हैं? ना हम धर्म फॉलो करते हैं, ना हम उस आनंद को पूरा लेते हैं कि हम कभी तो थकेंगे उसमें. वैराग्य, विवेक बुद्धि कभी तो बनेगी. सेंस एक्सपीरियंसेस वर मेंट फॉर ब्रिंगिंग द नॉलेज ऑफ द ephemeral nature of everything. The ephemeral versus the non-ephemeral. What is the ephemeral all involving is what he had started by. ये सब ephemeral है. They are transient. And because they are transient, nobody says do not enjoy them. But enjoy them because they are transient. See the difference? When we are dependent on that happiness, thinking that this will be permanent, the problem is that. But when we are having the happiness thinking that it is impermanent, impermanent happiness hai, impermanent happiness hai, it's okay. That's what that boy was asking. But what was the difference is, you are not understanding. When you think that this is the happiness and then waiting for another happiness, whereas the one who knows that any impermanent happiness is impermanent, ये तो आती जाती रहती है. You don't seek any of them because they all keep coming your way, isn't it? Now you will seek, no, if there's a nice beautiful sight there and you see someone doing a good action, you have already understood this is so impermanent. Where will you linger? Will you have pain in that lingering? Because that state is an established understanding कि जब जब ऐसी choice आए, ये ले लो. यहाँ testing नहीं है, experimenting नहीं है. You're not figuring out how to get yourself out of the temporary happiness. You are only enjoying the temporary happiness that comes on the path, but with the alertness. That alertness is, as long as it is dharma which is keeping you propelled in your waking state, is the beginning point of the class. Dharma means what? Not the one which is, forget about the universal dharma, अगर आपकी नहीं समझ में भी आती, अपने धर्म की बुद्धि तो आपको समझ में आती है. मेरे धर्म क्या है? बस. And it's not always very pleasant in the beginning. Why is it not pleasant? Because we are moving ourselves from the instant pleasure to the sense of dharma, and dharma is a delayed gratification. That is what we experience as pain. वो तो आपको कभी ना कभी go through करना ही पड़ेगा. Because अगर आपको short paced happiness to walking on which brings you more stable and permanent happiness, that when you're turning the car also थोड़े से तो screeching होती है, नहीं? There is some दिक्कत that comes. अगर आप उसी रास्ते चलते जाओ तो चलते जाओ. Where will you reach? Where will you reach? Which rasta am I saying? Instant. Hopping from one instant pleasure to another pleasure to another pleasure to another pleasure. Where will you reach?
Same point. Status quo.
you will not reach anywhere. Sometime you may even get stuck. You may even get stuck because कोई और पत्थर ही ना दिखा तो रास्ता क्रॉस तो भी करना बाकी था, स्ट्रीम तो भी पूरी क्रॉस हुई नहीं, पत्थर नहीं मिला कोई और, अब क्या करोगे, वापस जाओगे? जा ही नहीं सकते क्योंकि अब वो चीजें वापस आनंद नहीं देती. Am I making sense? So what will you actually do in life? The point here was, how do you conduct your waking day such that you are able to detach yourself from this pleasure-seeking attracted mode? What attracts me? What repels me? अगर आप इससे हट सके, उसको हटाने के लिए शुरू में point is only the beginning point. You have to keep your life on your capacity based, living your dharma in the genuine sense, truly wanting to abide your dharma. And then when the dharma conflicts with another dharma, if you are a true seeker, you will only weigh the two dharmas and stick to the known dharma. For example, supposing you are a... No, I can't give you this example.
Like you had told about that when I had asked about the demonetization and the change of rupees by others, so that then you had told that you abide by the known dharma. जो आपको पहले से समझ है आप उसी से चलोगे, नहीं समझ लेने से पहले. It is abided the
Correct.
And it was very good advice.
Correct.
It worked very well. And later on I found that he took it back, all his 50,000 money that he didn't know.
Correct.
He did not get it exchanged.
Correct. So if it ever conflicts, see between, now coming back, now is this clear to some question clear? Now you come back to the example of the Sita, for the sake of just completing the thing. The known dharma for her was, whatever that Rekha was set by Ram and Lakshman in particular, because Lakshman was following his dharma. What was his dharma given by? Ram. Now I'm going to give you symbolism of it. Very careful, hear this. Ram gave the dharma to Lakshman. Ram did not tell directly to Sita. पहली बात, उसने लक्ष्मण को कहा था कि तुम इसकी रक्षा करना. लक्ष्मण का धर्म था सीता की रक्षा करना. Ram had no problem. He did not set. So first of all this modern people who Ram did this, Lakshman, blah blah. सबसे पहली बात, Ram never put limits to Sita. He never said, he never not gave her freedom. He treated her equal. Point clear? One point cleared. He always, between Ram and Sita, it was an equal relationship. Ram never set the limits to her as a husband to say, तुम ये नहीं करोगी, तुम वो नहीं करोगी, तुम ऐसा नहीं करोगी, तुम वैसा नहीं करोगी, तुम ये ही करोगी, तुम ये नहीं करोगी, तुम मेरे साथ वनवास जाओगी क्योंकि तुम्हारा धर्म है पत्नी का तो तुम मेरे साथ चलोगी. राम ने ऐसा नहीं कहा. राम तो कह रहे थे तुम मत चलो क्योंकि तुम्हारे लिए जरूरी नहीं है, ये मेरा है, ये मेरे को, my mother wants me to go, she doesn't want you to go, you please stay here, live the life. She said nahi, I want to go. Fine. Second thing, when Lakshman puts this Rekha, he is only following Ram, and he did not want to go chasing the deer because he was very certain Ram is capable of it, of handling whatever there is. He knows very well this is some adaivi incident and this can be counter to Sita's protection. But Sita pushes him. धर्म था? नहीं था. जब सीता ने उसको गोल्डन डियर के पीछे भगाया राम को, means wife made the husband run after the values which were flimsy, ephemeral. Wife told the husband, I want this, I want that. I want this and she made him go against his own sense of right and wrong. She made him go the path of. Ram also knew this was all, but he kept his first level of security, let's put it this way. She says नहीं जाओ ना, वाइफ के आगे तो राम जी की भी नहीं चली, ये तो नियम है जीवन का, वाइफ के आगे नहीं चलती किसी की भी, सो राम जी की भी नहीं चली सीता के आगे, सो राम जी भी निकले. ना लक्ष्मण न्यू वेरी वेल सीता का धर्म कहाँ था ये बताइए. साधु आ गया, उसमें था कि लक्ष्मण kept on telling her कि नहीं, he is good enough, but she pushed him also, now go. अब सीता का धर्म क्या था, नोन धर्म क्या था, नोन तो वही था ना कि कितना भी कोई साधु क्यों ना है, इंद्र भगवान खुद आ जाए, ये भी तो कहानियां सुनी ही हुई है, भगवान खुद ही क्यों ना सामने आए, अगर वो भगवान है तो उसका कोई, he has no business to enter that rekha because the rekha was put by her for her sake, not by her, I mean for her sake. So even if God comes, God has to follow the dharma. He should wait outside the rekha. And if he is truly wanting the bhiksha, then he will have to wait till she is allowed to step out. Otherwise, she should incur, even if he was real, she will incur only that papam of sending, if he was a real sadhu. She will incur only that much, which she will not incur because she was abiding in the real dharma. Is this clear?
Yes.
Absolutely clear, even for the sake of those who are going to listen to this later on. Is this clear? And especially for the young people. क्योंकि ये तो कांस्टेंट डिबेट चलता रहता है, बिकॉज राम जी ने सीता जी के साथ बहुत अन्याय किया था. एज अ हस्बैंड ही इज सेट अप अ रॉन्ग एग्जाम्पल फॉर द होल कल्चर. राम जी इज, इफ यू रियली अंडरस्टैंड, ही इज द ओनली आइडियल हस्बैंड. He is the only ideal. As a husband also, he is the ideal. You know, you see Sita burning in the fire, or you think Sita had to go through all this. But ask Sita, except for once. Throughout the Ramayana, you see nowhere has he told her to do anything. Nowhere has he told her to do anything at all. Amazing. It's different. It's very different. ना दैवी रिश्ता जो होता है compared to the लौकिक रिश्ता, हस्बैंड एंड वाइफ जो लौकिक रिश्ता है, इस हस्बैंड एंड वाइफ की लौकिक रिश्ते में हम क्या बेस करते हैं? लौकिक रिश्ता तो समझ में आ ही गया आप सबको. What is this? दैवी रिश्ते में भी इतनी चैलेंजेस थी. राम एंड सीता वर दैवी रिश्ता, उसमें भी इतनी चैलेंज थी. लौकिक रिश्ते, व्हाट इज लौकिक मीनिंग? बेस्ड ऑन योर अट्रैक्शन. मैरिज की है बेस्ड ऑन अट्रैक्शंस. लड़का ना देखने में अच्छा है, उसका ना घर भी बहुत बड़ा है, उसकी ना गाड़ी भी, बंगला भी है, और ना उसकी ना कोई बहन नहीं है, और ना मतलब अच्छे खाते पीते, मतलब दे आर गुड पीपल. लड़का सेंसिबल भी लग रहा है, लड़का मतलब ठीक है, अच्छा कमा लेता है, ये ठीक है. और लड़का लड़की के अंदर क्या देख रहा है? हाँ, उसके भी माँ बाप अच्छे ही हैं, और उनके भी शायद कोई भाई वाई नहीं है, तो झगड़ा वगड़ा नहीं होएगा. या हो सकता है एक भाई है जिसकी ऑलरेडी वो, आई थिंक उसकी आधी प्रॉपर्टी तो इसी के नाम पे आ जाएगी. अच्छी है लड़की, देखने में भी अच्छी है, पढ़ी लिखी है, जरूरत पड़ेगी तो नौकरी भी कर लेगी, और शायद नौकरी करती भी है, वो भी बहुत अच्छा है. आजकल की तुम्हारी शादियां किस बेसिस पे? Was I correct? और ऐसे ही होता है ना, ऐसे ही लड़का लड़की चुनते हो एक दूसरे को, इसलिए हम शादी कर रहे हैं. क्यों कर रहे हैं? उसके पास ये है, अदरवाइज आई कांट गेट दिस आउट ऑफ, एंड आई एम पुटिंग इट ऑन रिकॉर्ड नाउ.
And these are love marriages.
These are also love marriages. These are also love marriages based on these grounds. जब राम जी और सीता जी, उनकी योर आइडिया ऑफ शादी में इतनी प्रॉब्लम थी, आपकी क्राइटेरिया ऑफ शादी क्या है? अगर राम जी को अगर आपके हस्बैंड को वनवास जाना पड़ा, goes through the bad time, you as a wife will do what? And he tells you, you don't have to follow me, what will you do? You will say, no, no, I will follow you in your bad times. Okay, let me reverse the example, okay? ये मत सोचिए कि सिर्फ as I can't think of another example.
आज भी सिर्फ दो ही बैठे हैं तो कोई जरूरी नहीं है।
I know. And उनकी तो वाइफ्स बहुत धर्म पत्नी हैं, so उनको तो वैसे भी जरूरत नहीं है। Now you see the point? Are you seeing what I was trying to say, or did you get lost in the example? So where actually would you find happiness in anything at all?
You were giving an example.
Oh.
Some example you were going to put on air.
No, now I will. Okay, I will put it on. No.
What is this example related to?
Should I put it? I'll tell you, then it'll go on air. Okay, I'll put it indirectly. You will understand. Okay. There's a celebrity couple which got married a few years ago, and they got married in some satsangs. You know. So this young girl of ours tells her mother, I'm not taking, so nobody knows who you are. Tells her mother, why were you not attending those satsangs?
You know that was a joke, right?
No, you are serious. If you'd kept quiet, nobody would have known who it was. Now, you know how it kind of... my...
This is Shahid Kapoor.
So subtly.
Let's delete this now today. Let's not put it on sale. Now, what are you looking for in a satsang? My question is that. Why did they get what they get? Is, you know why? Because they followed the satsang. It is not the satsang which gave them that. It is them following the satsang which gives them that, and you do not know the future. You know, that's your perception for that moment. It is that you follow the values, and very truly, some people follow those satsangs. They make people follow values. Vedant mein kya hai? There is education. The choice is left to you to follow the values. There is no infrastructure created that you are made to follow the values, whether you understand them or not. Do you see the difference? What happens in all the satsangs in the world minus what is Vedanta, Gyan Marg? सारे मार्ग में values तुम्हें दे दी जाती है और एक infrastructure बना देते हैं to let people follow that value within that. And there is nothing shown ahead. But the fact that you follow those values, you are doing actions, no? फल तो आएगा ना? And पूरा generation भी कभी कभी ये follow करता है, तब जाके next generation को फल आता है. कर्मों के realm में भी, when Krishna says, it's very quick, Shipram, next verse, he manushe loke. It's very easy in this manushya lok to get the results. But that easy, by pleasing the gods, in other words, means doing the dharma. Karam bhi agar aap karte ho, it cannot be how instant you want the gratification. Dharam ka palan karne wale ko phal bahut milta hai, but not how you see jumping from one rock to another, stone to another. That's not how you get the joy, because even your next generation gets nothing then. Who are the beneficiaries? Dharam agar karam ke realm में रह जाएगा, तो have no doubts about it. You are the recipient of the फल. But अगर आप सिर्फ धर्म के रास्ते पे चलते हो, then you are losing out on the नित्य सुखम. धर्म भी सुख नित्य नहीं देता. धर्म भी क्या देगा? दे देगा वो पार्टनर, सुख तो अनित्य ही रहेगा. When Hrithik Roshan married, because our generation, sorry, when he married, oh no, your generation, sorry, when he got married, the whole young generation was, this is the ultimate, this is the absolute. Brad Pitt, George Clooney is still married. Is still married. Now, what is your concept of what is this institute, or what you call it an institute only in the English term? हमारे शास्त्रों में शादी जैसा एक incident in a person's life is only meant, I'm reinforcing it 1,000 times, I will speak this. It is only meant to make you walk on the path of dharma. It gives you the opportunity to do dharma. मगर अगर आप उसको भी अपना भोग का विषय बना दोगे, तो फिर अब आप धर्म का पालन करोगे कहां? क्योंकि यौवन अवस्था में तो कर नहीं सकते, उसमें तो वैसे ही भोग चाहिए. यौवन अवस्था means pleasure, drinking at 6 p.m., getting drunk till 6 p.m., etc. This is the यौवन अवस्था है ना अभी तो वो. अब तुम्हें यौवन अवस्था में क्या करना चाहिए था वैसे? Qualifying yourself enough to become contributors to the society. That is all your yauvan avastha was supposed to be for. In between, yes, you have a sanction of a few pleasures. You have a sanction. Perfect. But there is a sanction. Only those you have a sanction for. You don't have the sanction to have indiscriminate, uncontrolled, unmeasured, no boundaries, limitless pleasure. And at the expense, it is okay to have those pleasures if you are also qualifying yourself to be the contributory members. But not at the expense of becoming the contributory members. Because when you get drowned in the senses, you lose the time to qualify yourself. ये बात पल्ले ही नहीं पड़ती है young generation के. That your time to qualify yourself is only that time. उसके बाद तो you can only now pursue whatever you have qualified as. And I don't mean scholarly qualification. I mean qualities like this. Somebody to help you. You see an extraordinary opportunity. Supposing there is some needy person on the road, needs to cross, a blind boy needs to cross the road. Our famous example all the time. Needs to cross the road. Who will help him to cross the road? या तो जिसके अंदर एक आदत सी बन गई है, मतलब he is just by genuine nature helpful, built by past habits. Or what will a Vedantin do? See it as an opportunity. This is somewhere I can get back to the society. Just for its own sake. There's nothing you want from it. There is a needy person there. You saw the needy person. You cannot close your eyes. Period. Because Srishti ke niyam mein, you have been needy 1 billion times when people, many forces did not close their eyes to you. Every few hours we are hungry. We are needy of food. Don't we get it? किसी ने आंख बंद की तुम्हें देने के पहले? नहीं देना तुमको. We receive in such innumerable ways that this little thing is actually nothing. But done consciously, what have I done? I have balanced my nature, even if you call it this much. इवन इनिशियली ब्रह्म ज्ञान तो विचार से ही होगा, ब्रह्म विचार से होगा. ब्रह्म विचार करने के लिए ये सब प्रश्न हो रहा है, जहां वैराग्यम है ही नहीं, या कम है, या बनना है, या बनाने की इच्छा है. क्योंकि जहां वैराग्यम होगा ना, वहां ऑटोमेटिकली दैट फर्स्ट लेयर ऑफ विवेक बुद्धि चल चुकी है, तभी तो वैराग्य आया. दैट इनिशियल disinterest in a lot of pleasures or a few pleasures at least has happened. Then is the question, now how am I shifting it further when I do not know what that anandam is going to be, and I am in my peer group, I am going away from the anandam that they seek. Should I continue to walk there or not? To which the Shastra constantly reinforces to every such person, you are the only one who is walking on the right. Even if in your peer group you seem to be alone, walk a little ahead, you will have a crowd in front of you. Which crowd? The next step in this, there will be many people ahead of you. Then you walk a little more ahead, there will be a few more people ahead of you. But आप उनको छोड़ोगे. Remember the base camp? आपका शुरू वैष्णो देवी एग्जाम्पल, स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम दिल्ली, पूरी दिल्ली है यहाँ पे. कितने लोग जाने वाले हैं कटरा? कटरा में कितने लोग कटरा से ऊपर जाएंगे? कितने लोग अधकुआरी से ऊपर जाएंगे? That you will keep leaving your base behind. Don't think you're going to be nowhere. There will always be some people ahead of you, walking the direction of beginning with dharma. Which dharma? Don't bother. Universal and individual are actually supposed to be one. But this is a whole topic in itself. Why are they supposed to be one? Because my individual dharma is supposed to be aligned to the universal dharma. तो ये दो धर्म तो हो ही नहीं सकते हैं कभी. मेरा इंडिविजुअल धर्म बना ही यूनिवर्सल धर्म के बेसिस पे है. तो how can they be relative and absolute two different ones? But there will be some relative contexts where the dharma can be a little fluidly adapted. That is allowed within dharma, but that doesn't mean you're going against the universal dharma. अधर्म तो कभी धर्म नहीं बनेगा, उसको कहते हैं रिलेटिव हो जाना. धर्म ही धर्म रहेगा ना, अधर्म तो धर्म नहीं बन जाएगा कभी. So when that is going to happen, never happen, that means अधर्म की बुद्धि भी हमें शायद है. What is not my dharma is called adharam. And in our roles of life, what stops us from following dharma is only this constant pebble to pebble jumping, happiness seeking in relationships also. Grahasti, householder's life, was only meant, and I am serious to the young ones, was only meant, and I have said it 1,000,000,000 times, but there has been no correction in any young person so far I have come across. Your householder's life, if you look for a partner in life ever, your idea should only be, it is to help you abide in dharmas. And following the dharma, nobody said is very pleasurable in the beginning. Choice is yours. You want to seek pleasure to pleasure and remain uncertain in life forever, or you want to go through that little displeasure in the beginning and be certain for the rest of your existence ever. शुरू का रास्ता तो बहुत छोटा है, लेकिन एंड दोनों के बिल्कुल उल्टे हैं. One is shreyas, one is preyas. You reach somewhere if you walk the path of instant pleasure, and you reach somewhere else entirely if you decide that yes, I will have to resist my own temptations for the world. I only have to resist them. Senses are not going to resist them. Mind is not going to resist it. Buddhi is too weak. Who will resist it? This is my standard question to people. When they say, nahi, humse to hota nahi. I don't have the patience to go on saying, oh, koi baat nahi, koshish karo. My standard is, to kisse hoga? तुमसे नहीं होगा, हमसे तो नहीं होता जी. तो किसकी वेट कर रहे हो? कौन करेगा?
नतीजा भुगतो.
That's the second point then. अगर नहीं होता है तो नतीजा भुगतो फिर. but stop wasting and stop wallowing. No point in wallowing in life. Choices are, शास्त्र बुद्धि इतनी साफ कर देता है that your choices are very clear to you. और सही और गलत की बात नहीं है, समझ की बात है. Outcomes क्या हैं तुम्हारे choices के? That's all that the शास्त्र will tell you. What are the outcomes of your choices? ये लोगे तो ये outcome हो जाएगा, ये लोगे तो ये outcome हो जाएगा. And here he is trying to get us to understand a very big thing. अनित्य क्या है is the point. नित्य क्या है? You will only know when you have grown out of the realm of अनित्य सुख. ये जो अनित्यत्वम का the सुख में जो एक dependency है from external sources, and I am bringing it down, at least today we said it clearly. Whatever is born from the waking state happiness goes away with the waking state. We all take a lot of strength from this. So is also true for whatever pain is born from the waking. सुख और दुख दोनों अगर waking state के emergence है, तो they will only remain in the waking state. Is this okay? You are in the right satsang. Is this fine? Should we look at the time? Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.